Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little different. I had an aha moment after the last video that I put out, excuse me, the art of self-love. And so I wanted to share on my aha moment. And I also want to talk about the energies that we're in currently. And it kind of ties together with my aha moment. So as I was doing the last video and found myself talking about reciprocity and unity consciousness and what I was seeing for the next 4 years as we would be going into this process of clean up in order for us to come together to sort through all of the distortion that we've been living under and be able to come together in love and connect with each other and see that everything that was separating us all of these years for centuries was created by design in order to keep us in the game of separation. So as I was talking in the last video, I was having this awareness that I was talking a lot about reciprocity, and I was talking about unity, and I was talking about, caring and sharing and compassion and coming together, as a collective whole in love and making sure that nobody gets left behind, and the importance of giving and also receiving. Receiving is extremely important because most of us are not good receivers. And so this kind of like sparked this memory that I completely forgotten about. I do such a great job of staying present in my present awareness that I completely forgot that back in probably like 2009, I had somehow stumbled upon this woman, Connie Kaplan, who had written this book and created a program based on the book. And the book is called The Invisible Garment. I'm pretty sure it's still on Amazon, and you could look it up there. And anyway, the whole purpose of this was she had gone through some very emotional things with a family member and was in the hospital with them while they were going through, their health crisis at that moment. And she had been connected to in contact with the angelic realm, and they basically channeled the contents of this book. Now, I was working as a Reiki practitioner back then. I was certified in both Usui and Karuna Reiki, and I pretty much thought that was going to be my life path. And so, in my work of exploration, always looking to see where I could better myself or look for things that would help shift me out of whatever I was trying to move away from, like lack programming and any victimhood that I carried. I happened to stumble into her program. And when I signed up for it, I took this program, and it's based on our astrological charts. You need your birth time, your day, your place of birth, and you plug all of that in, and then based on the degrees, you get these I guess descriptions, or they're called pillars for what is called your invisible garment. And that's the name of the book and the name of the program. And so I went through this program. Here is the workbook for that program from back then, The Invisible Garment. And it was a very intensive program because it's also based on our astrological chart. And so this is what it was based on mine, right? I know you can't read it, but you don't really need to read. It's not anything that you'd understand without the book. But anyway, so, I wanted to just share this with you because I found this work fascinating, and I was then had gone through her program and started doing charts for people back then, and was really seeing how this work was like so spot on with in relationship to people and what was presenting in their charts. Like in mine, it says my midheaven, which would be my rising sign, came in with the placement of or principle of humility. That's definitely me. I'm always giving everything away, and there was a time in my life where I didn't perceive my own needs, and was not a very good receiver, and would just do for other people. And then I realized that I took a vow of poverty and carried that through, so I needed to do the work to clear that. Then through the principle of humility, the outer focus on that was integrating light. So for me, doing the work that I was doing as a light worker, and then now, of course, where I am now, in the flow of all things, ascension as a way shower, it started to really light up for me. And what happened the other day was when I was doing that talk, as I sat later that night and I was doing a very little introspection exercise that I do sometimes, I flashed on this program, and I remembered taking it and how it related to everything I said in my last video, The Art of Self-Love. And so when I looked at this chart that I had created, I realized that I have reciprocity in 3 different places. It's in my Neptune, it's in my Saturn, and it's in my Venus. And so it makes me very passionate about, Venus makes me passionate about it. Saturn makes it my mission, and Neptune makes it my spiritual consciousness, right? That's just the lightest part of this. And then my moon is versed in the principle of unity, which is, at a global level here. And I also have gratitude, peace. Right now, there's many principles. I didn't go through the book to look back, but I think there's something like 30 principles that you could have that in your chart that are possible, right? But I'm seeing the repeated patterns of reciprocity, unity, consciousness, the humility, and there's also creativity in here. And the creativity happens to be on the astral realm, which, because of the placement with creativity and being in my Jupiter, makes it expansive, that, I connect to all things. So when I was looking back at this, I thought to myself, wow, I went through this program. I did charts. I still could do charts if I wanted to do charts, because this work for me is just so fascinating, the way that it really just lights everything up and speaks to why we're here. But it made me realize that it took me all of this time from 2009 to now to actually hit all of this that's in this invisible garment chart that I had done back then, because I had Connie do it for me back then, and then of course now I do the charts. But when she was breaking it down, I was going through the process with her, and we were in the class to understand all of this. I really had a hard time connecting to some of it, I'll be honest. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, had I had the awareness back then that I have now, I would have just made this my mission statement and my purpose. So I guess, my point in this is that the timing is perfectly aligned, and certain time lock aspects have to, be put into place in order for us to open to that next level where we're meant to be. And now, because we're in this interplay of this full moon that we have, which is an eclipse, a full moon eclipse in the sign of Gemini. Gemini is a sign of communication. and eclipses, of course, can eclipse things out of our lives, or sometimes shine a light on what is needing to be shifted. This is a very powerful moon that we're in, and it's on the 30th, and the day itself, 30, if you break that down, is a 3, which is about expansion, right? So that in itself is extremely powerful. And it's, I think, a 9-day too, right? It's a 4 and a 7, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it works out to be a 9. So it's a 9 of coming to completions of the old as we're beginning anew. So I know a lot of people are discounting this moon energy, and they're not really focused here because they're focused more on the energies of the 21st of December. But I just want to say that should not be the focal point, because today is a very, very powerful day in that we're going to start to see things come to the light. We're in a time of revelations, right? We've been in a time the past couple of months of almost like a sleight of hand, right? The illusion coming into the forefront of our awareness that there is an illusion taking place, that not everything is as it's seen. I've heard people say, the sleight of hand, and definitely the illusion of what is not. So we have to be aware of that, but most importantly, that today, this full moon is really the kickoff to the energies that we're playing in for these revelations to occur, and for the rest of the awakening to happen, because that's where we are. We're in a massive global awakening right now, and today I feel like is the kickoff for that energetically. At least that's what my team is saying. Yesterday, I woke up from an encounter with my Syrian ambassador I've encountered before, which is a member of my galactic realm, my higher realm team, showing up. In the past, he showed up when he wanted to let me know that I was doing a good job doing what I was doing. That was a few years ago. And this time he showed up to tell me that I'm exactly where I'm meant to be and where I'm needed most right now. So I want to say that if you're following the work that I've been putting out, just know that you're also where you need to be. If you're taking this work in and you're doing what you need to do with it, which is why I'm putting it out, because it's amplifying the light frequency on the earth for those that are choosing to do this work and put the time and effort into shifting their reality and understanding that we're creating all of it. So what else I wanted to say was, the biggest date for me, aside from the 21st, is really the 12th. So that 12-12 day is super important, because 12 is a 1 and a 2, and it breaks down to 3. And 12-12 is actually 3-3. That for me is more important, because that is the Christ timeline. So for the kickoff of Christ consciousness, I believe that day is going to be very significant in greater awakening on the earth, throughout humanity, as more people start to wake up from the sleep they've been in, and that veil that we've all been playing behind dissolves even more, because I'm seeing it thinning more and more every single day. Those who are taking my Wednesday night class, which is a mastery class, are finding it amusing. Every week we get together is always a different energy in there, and it's because of how we are supported by the higher realms in that class as the information is coming through. Last week it was like we were in a disco, and I thought for a second it was the salt lamp that I had on behind me, but it wasn't the light behind me. It was just the light around me that was flashing as we were taking it into the higher timeline. So I'm seeing it, amplifying in our fields, and it's a very visceral experience to have. So please don't just focus on December 21st. That would be detrimental to you, because it means you're not working in the energies that are available to us right now. And what's most important right now going forward is when you have access to the sun, to go out and sit in the sun, not just stand in the sun, but make some time to actually sit in the sun and bask in the rays of the sun, and ask for that light frequency to amplify your field, to fill your field. Ask for it to work its magic through your field. This is so important right now, that we make that connection and allow ourselves to be amplified by what is going on with the sun, as it is constantly changing its prismatic effects and what it is allowing us to see and experience on the earth plane. The other day when I took a picture, it looked like a hexagon. And again, if you break down the number six becomes 3 and 3, right? 3 and 3 makes 6. So it's that Christed light code again, the 33 or the 333 code of the Christed light. So this is all bringing us to the fruition of what is going to unfold on the 21st for the solstice. But there's so much important work to be done between now and then. And again, as I said, I really believe that the more important of the dates is the 12/12 date. It's always been a gate I recognized over the course of the last 7 years, that the 12/12 gate, Stargate, has been one of the most important gates that we could recognize, because it's really a powerful time. And so, we have a lot of big things coming in the next couple of weeks. Stay focused. Pay attention to your thoughts, words, and actions, and everything that you're creating, so that we're creating the highest experience possible, that we are engaging in the highest timelines possible. And like I showed you in my example with the invisible garment, sometimes we're not even aware that we have the magic right at our fingertips, like I had in 2009, but I was not ready for it yet. I was growing into where I am now, who I am now. So again, going back to my video, The Art of Self-Love, if you're not exactly where you want to be, that's okay, because you're a work in progress heading to that place that is yours, that is your perfection. And none of us are done evolving, myself included. I may have hit all of those principles that are in my invisible garment, but it doesn't mean it ends there. Now more teaching begins. It's just that the teaching is going to change. And how I've been able to shift into this was tuning out of social media, tuning out of all distractions, and just really sitting within myself to get myself into this place where I could just be a good receiver and tune into the cosmos, so that I know exactly where I'm meant to be, right? So sometimes it requires that we do that. So if you're not exactly where you are desiring to be, then there is so much out there for you to explore that could help put you on that pathway. See what's aligned with your soul, with your inner being, and maybe tune into some of that. I know for me right now, I need to keep creating in the higher timelines. That creator state of being is really calling me. Yesterday, I made some amazing and very yummy face cream. So for those of you that know, I've been making facial serums. Well, I found that the weather has changed. It's winter, so I'm needing something different than a serum, which is oil-based. So yesterday I made the most amazing cream. It is just amazing. And then the week before that, I made some incredible body butter. So I'm just enjoying that process. Yesterday, I signed up for classes with an artist in Italy. She is of angelic essence, and she does her artwork is very spiritual based. It's working with guides and animal totems and spirit guides. And I feel so called and drawn to do that. So I'm going to do that and stay in my creator flow. And continue to do my classes and my session work and just make myself, you know, everything that I desire, right? Everything that I desire to be, I'm just going to experience it all. Everything, no matter what. I'm getting out of my own way, and I'm going to just allow myself to be a creator of every experience that comes to me, and not hold judgment. Oh, that looked terrible, or that went wrong, or that didn't go right. Not worry about any of it, and just stay in those higher timelines and just have fun, have uh, joy, bring joy in, and just create and be in flow. So that's what I am offering to you at this time, to just be in your creator state, flow, allow yourself to be in joy. And if you don't know what that feels like, start to think about things that you maybe are not doing that you would love to do. For me, it's these new expressions within my artwork. I'm probably going to start sharing them because I know that there are activations in what I am painting and drawing. So I will be posting them as I create. And I know that this is also going to open up new pathways and new opportunities for me going forward. So what are you doing to create, to stay in your creator timelines? If there's something that you're doing right now to stay in your creator timeline, drop it in the comments below. Let me know. Let's share so that we can help each other expand into that creator state of being. And if you are not doing anything to stay in your creator state of being and you're uncertain of what that looks like, maybe some of the comments below will help you find your creator state of being, if you didn't find it through listening to this video. So again, I thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you who are new to my channel, thank you for tuning in and joining me here. And those of you that are with me, have been with me, I really appreciate your continued support. If you find something that resonates with you, please give me a thumbs up so that bumps me up in the algorithms. Also, if you find that this content resonates with you, please subscribe, hit the bell so that you're notified when I have new videos. And if you think that this video would be helpful to someone else, please share it, because that is reciprocity. And sharing is our new 5D state of being. That's the consciousness that we're headed to. You're going to hear me talk a lot about that over the course of the next couple of months, maybe even years. I don't know yet. I'm just going with the flow of where my team is taking me. But this is definitely a big one, because I know when I was in Hawaii, they had a saying, I think the term is ohana, no one gets left behind, right? Everybody is inclusive, and that is the purpose of making these videos, so that I am including everybody in this journey, and I'm showing you the way to do this, and I'm lining you up for what is to come, just so that you know where you can gauge yourself to be. Okay, doesn't mean it's the only way to do this, doesn't mean it's the best way to do this, but it is the way that has gotten me to where I am now, that has put me in a state of my own bliss and happiness. So I'm sharing with you what I know works. All right. So if you would like to make a contribution to support my channel, I would greatly appreciate that. There is a donation link below. And if you are not somebody that likes to make those kinds of contributions, and are like some of the other people that are working with me now that have asked what they could gift me instead, I've left a link to my Amazon wish list. This is something new. I have no expectation either way. If you make a donation or you purchase something from my wish list, my joy comes from sharing with you. So do not feel obligated. And whatever you are doing, I wish you a beautiful day or evening, wherever you are. And just know that I love you. And thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you soon.